Boom Convo, the man Young, AQ, Nigeria's most successful hip hop artist,
Am I?
OG.
Yeah.
My
I'm
brother,
just the best out now. That's
always good to see you, man.
always
Thank you
good to
so much
see
for
you,
coming
Obin.
out here. And congratulations on too many things.
Yeah.
But let's start with the heavies. Look, I've known you for a very long time, and it is so surreal to me that you're still winning awards in 2022.
Yeah, but I didn't used to win them back then. So
Well, a lot of
yeah,
your peers wouldn't even
yeah.
get nothing. So, how does that feel, man?
This one, the last one I won meant a lot because the category was really strong. Uh, but it was the best verse. I think this is the only award that I have collected that on social media. They're not like, if I catch you, this award belonged to. I think everybody just agreed
Like,
that no, he got that one.
so
Yeah.
do you feel like the validation for your art and your work and effort is finally really pouring in?
Yeah, I feel that way. It took a long time, but we're here, and you know, I put in the work. So you know, I don't think I'm the perfect example for somebody to just say, oh, because the amount of work that I put in, for example, a night ago I was up till 7 a.m. And a friend called me. It was like, I was trying to go to bed, and I was like, "You are trying to go to bed because," and it was like, nobody will see that you are up till 7 a.m. They just see the congratulations and blah 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 blah. And even if it was not for music work, but something I was doing. I mean, it's music work or music business work,
We will
not
get to
yeah.
that. So, talking about this work, I mean, that's the sweetest thing about your victory because people who have been following have seen your resilience and your effort and your hard work over the years. I mean, who else has put out two bodies of work this year?
And
I don't know.
there are a couple.
Oh,
I mean, MI has put out two bodies of work this year.
okay, okay. You know,
Black Bones will put out two bodies of work this year.
so, but you put out Lamb with the other top MCs, and then an unprecedented, interesting collaboration album with the one and only Brymo. How did that even? Why Brymo?
Uh, I've seen a lot of stuff online that talks about different things and our intentions. Uh, it's sickening, but I needed to, with the success of Breathe on Golden, right? It was success that I felt. I've been putting out music. It was the kind of success that I enjoyed, not success numbers and all of that, but people actually just reaching out and saying, this song changed my life. This song, got me from point this to point. I wanted to do more of that, and I was like thinking like who, and I was on social media at one point, and I saw, at that time it was called Organized Chaos. I saw clips of his show, and I realized that I had not performed in a long time. And one of the reasons why I had not performed in a long time is because I wasn't making performance music. I was just rapping, and then I felt like this guy makes songs that he can perform, and he performs them yearly. And I felt like it was time that I start performing. So I was like, who else to do a project with than somebody that makes projects to perform them? Because some people make projects and there's only two songs they make to perform. They say this is our hit song. Nobody actually creates a whole project to be able to perform, the whole project. And that's how I was feeling. So, I got in touch with his manager, and his manager started the conversation. Apparently, him and his manager, couldn't work anymore. So I was like, let me just reach out directly. So I reached out directly, and we had a very long conversation, right? And then we were going to start, and an opportunity came for me, and I was now like, oh, since this is what I'm working on, this is what I want to do, let's just bundle everything together and just, do the album.
Nice, nice. So, besides the obvious musicality of this project, having collaborated with Brymo, the amazing Bigfoot, and yourself, I found this project to be very hard-hitting with the message and very honest. On the song
Family first.
Family First. There were a few strong lines, a lot of strong lines in there. Like when you said, I think my mother is going to die soon, I was shocked. And then you also addressed your relationship with a friend and business partner. Why did you feel the need to put out yourself and your life like that?
Sometimes music is like therapy. You're just in a phase where you feel nobody's listening and everybody just wants something from you, apart from a few friends. And you have to always be the leader, step up to the situation, right? And even when people feel like something is wrong with you, they'll just say, you handle it now, it's you now, Q. Do you understand? Not necessarily a cry for help, but, it's like putting energy, it's like taking all that energy that you're carrying and just throwing it away. Do you understand? And just saying, okay, all of this stuff is going to leave me now, So while I was making the album, I was really just making the album, It wasn't the emotions were in conceiving the idea. That's when I dealt with the emotions. But when I started recording, I was basically just making an album, So I was hearing it, but I wasn't listening to it. I was, oh, this sounds nice, this doesn't sound nice, remove this, add this, So on the night the album came out and I started seeing some comments, that's when I decided to listen to the project. And then that's when I now realized, and I cried, and that's when I now realized the depth of some of the things that, I said. And because nobody really listens to my album before it comes out. I don't want that, oh, you need to change this, oh, I think, no. Maybe one or two people, and it's just for what do you think about, because they're professionals in their own fields, like what do you think about this progression, or what do you think about this mix, or but nobody really listens to my projects. So when I now listened with everybody, I now felt like the depth and everything that I was saying, but there was something that I put out there also, and I said that when I release this album, everything is going to change for me, because I felt like I had just taken everything that bothered me and I just thrown it on the, if it's back in the days, a piece of disc or whatever, or I've just put it in the cloud and it's no longer here. So, all the trauma, all the things that that was weighing me down, I've put it, and I just feel free. I feel like, yo, what do you, everything you should know about me is there, What else?
Nothing to hide.
There's nothing to hide. So when you see me, you see me. You understand? So, and since I released the project till now, everything has been, I felt happier. I felt more relieved. I felt stronger. I felt more determined. I felt like I can get everything that I need and everything that I'm supposed to become, everything that I'm supposed to be. So it was not for clout, it was something that at the point where I felt like I needed to do it, because they say problem shared is half solved. I needed to do it because I'm in that phase where I need to release this energy into the world.
Nice. But In hindsight, is there any part in the album where you feel like, oh, maybe I should have held back a bit?
Yeah. The part where I said, I spoke about my sis and I said, I'm sorry it's getting dark for you. You know, that's the only line that I felt like I shouldn't have said. You know.
Nice, man. Your growth. I mean, come on, you and I are friends. You know,
Yeah.
I admire you deeply. I
And I
admire your work,
appreciate
your
that, and
resilience.
I
You
appreciate
know,
what you
and
do for the
you
industry too.
your growth has been beautiful, man. And recently, we all gathered to help or join you as you launch your um, new business venture,
The
Connect
connect head,
Hair.
yeah.
Man, how has that been? I understand it's still in the early days of it,
Yeah.
but how's that been? And what informed the decision to delve into that?
Well, to be honest, I was bored, right? So I'm like, I always want something to work on. I don't like not doing anything. And when I lost my producer, Beats by Jay, I had to stop. Like, I thought that the world would stop with me when I stopped. You know, not that I thought, like, it was a feeling that I wanted. I wanted the world to stop with me. Like, come on, give me a break, right? But it did not. You know, it kept going and everybody kept going, right? And, you know, there are stuffs that, I think this is the first interview I'm doing since. There are stuffs that hit you, right? And it hits you worse than you thought that it would hit you. You know, it was not something that I felt like would hit me that bad. I've lost two siblings, right? So I felt like, what could be worse than that? But that's when you now get to understand that blood, yes, but how much you spend with somebody also, you know, and it was just, and you know, I lost my siblings when I was much younger. This is the first time that I'm losing somebody that is very important to me at an older age, and you know, it was hard. It was really hard for me to take, and selfishly, I felt like this guy should mean the same thing to these other people like he meant to me, because people were handling it better, you know. So what I'm trying to say is that I'm not saying that the world should have stopped like rotating or whatever. I'm saying that people that were in the same uh, environment, in the same situations, people that should be feeling the same way I felt. But I now realize that that wasn't, you know, I mean, people handle grief differently. I'm not saying that they were bad people or anything. So it happened in November, and in January, I was like, I need to do something because I can't put out music, I can't, you know, record, I can't do anything, but, you know, I need to do something that, you know, will help me get out of this. And I've always had this idea, and I used to run it by him because the production aspect of it and selling beats and everything, I used to run it by him, and I'm like, it was called getthatwork.com. You know, it was got from the battle between Loaded Locks and I've forgotten his name. You gonna get that work, you know. So we're like getthatwork.com, and you know, it was something that, you know, we wanted to do but couldn't because, you know. And I was like, yo, let me just do this. And then I added a lot of stuff to it, trying to make it a one-stop hub for music business.
In all of this, we can't forget that A&R AQ or AQD, music business exec, has been pretty successful. You know, and you're still in a place where you're doing all these beautiful things. Of course, it didn't come easy. So, what is there to take out from best from your career?
It's simple. Um, you have to have the talent, and you have to be sure that you have the talent. Because there are so many things that will happen. There are so many people that will tell you, this is not, what you're doing is wrong. This is not how the game wants you to move. This is not how to get a deal. This is not. The first thing is that when you start lying to yourself, that's the, you know, that's the recipe for disaster. You have to be sure about your level of talent, you know. And then the second thing is that you have to listen. So at the time where I was feeling like I was the best, I was not the best. Do you understand? And then I took the critiquing and the, you know, and I worked on it. I had conversations with people. Shout out to Nido C, shout out to Emma Abaga, you know, Jesse Jags. I just listened to them. I just sat back and I just listened. You know, I sat in studio sessions and I watched. You know, there's a lot in voicing. You can be the best rapper outside or the best singer outside the studio, but as soon as you enter the studio, you're not. When you have the talent, you know, when you get into the vocal booth, that's another skill. Everything is a skill. Your social media, your branding is a skill. So it's been, even if it was late for me to discover all of these things, it's different stages, and you have to pay attention to the different stages, and you have to know what stage comes before the other stage. And that's why I always tell upcoming artists that you don't need a manager when you're coming up. You need an A&R. That's the first person you should look for. You need to work on the voicing part, or you need to work on your writing, or you need to work on your presentation, you need to work on your brand, it's an A&R that will tell you that. And that's the first person you should. So just learning, just having all of these experiences is why people say that I make a good A&R. But no, I'm just putting experience on the table. These are the stages that I had to go through, and I started learning all of these things and saying, oh, I need to improve on this, I need to improve on this. Oh, I need to, you know, at this point I need to change my hair, at this point I need to cut my hair, at this point I need to start wearing suits, at this point I need to, you know, that is all the knowledge that I just take and I just, you know, put down on younger artists. And I feel like I'm blessed in my own certain way, because if I had just had a big song from go, I wouldn't have acquired all of these experiences. You know, I'm willing to share to anybody that wants to listen.
Love it. Thank you. Finally,
Yeah.
this year, Boomplay did something called Pass the Mic
Yeah.
for the hip hop community and rappers.
Yeah.
And in the course of working on this project, once again, you're reminded of how many people we have who are interested in this art form. And when you look on the other hand, it would seem that the art form or the genre isn't so popular. But then again, it's just so many people who are trying to do hip hop or who are trying to rap. You know, so with the way you see the industry and the genre and streaming and everything, what is a good way for a rapper or somebody who wants to be an hip hop artist or who wants to rap to go about their craft and their business in 2022?
It's a difficult question. I knew that's where you were going from the onset, but it's a difficult question. For rappers, right, there was a point where I left. I don't believe that I've made a core hip hop album since Live Report, right? There's a lot of things that now go into my music because I felt like, apart from me just removing myself from the rap community, right, it now started affecting the music because I was now listening to a lot of Afro pop and alternative music, and that's why I've not really featured a rapper since, you know, I had featured on other people's songs, you know. As a matter of fact, when Tito sent me, I was like, if Tito was not my guy, I wouldn't have done it. Do you understand? Like, I told him and I said it on the record, it's too hardcore for me, you know. I feel like rappers need to understand something. The ego that comes with the terrain doesn't work here. That's number one, right? The ego, you can put all that ego in the music and sell it, but it doesn't work with the business model that we have here. Nobody wants it. Do you understand? Nobody wants to, especially when you're upcoming. And you can look at the likes of the big artists now and say that, oh, this guy has ego. And no, they were not like that when they were upcoming. None of them were. I've been here long enough to tell you, I've been in the same rooms with everybody. None of them had that ego when they were coming up. They brought back the ego when they were successful. That's allowed, right? But hip hop comes with a lot of braggadocio and all of this, and then you have ego. It doesn't work. So if I'm sitting with you as an upcoming artist, and I'm trying to help, and you have ego all around you, and you're even trying to test me lyrically and saying some silly stuff, I just go back to minding my business, because the first thing I had to do was drop my own ego. Do you understand? And as much as the ego is not there, I don't have patience. I have a lot of things to do other than, speaking with you. They need to drop the ego. They need to understand the business. They need to understand how to, which is very important, how to cultivate a fan base, right? That is not just a hip hop fan base, right? Because sometimes I feel like hip hop heads actually want rappers to drown. You put out a project, and once it's not the boom bap situation, they're attacking you, right? But their favorite rapper will put out a project that is not a boom bap situation for a foreigner, and they start hailing him, and then you look at the situation. So another thing that I did is that I stopped listening to the so-called heads. I just want people that like music and rap, So if you have a deep hip hop head fan base, it's a high probability that you're not going to be successful, because they're going to keep dragging you to the point where they want you. Everybody loves, somebody told me this, everybody loves you when you're talented and you're down. You're like a symbol for them, right? You see, it's not as if I'm being disrespectful, but this whole situation of standing and fans came from, if I don't have much wins in my life, I'm struggling. I have a win in this guy. Every time this guy touches the mic, I win, because I love him so much, and he's winning, right? When you understand that, you don't want a fan base that is anti-winning. You want a fan base that keep pushing you forward.
Yeah.
Keep pushing you forward. And I've seen with a lot of the, there's a lot that I did to get myself to this level. And that's why every time somebody brings a comparison with another MC, I'm like, no, I'm not like that guy. Do you understand? I can be kicking hip hop, but there are a lot of elements that go into my music. I'm there from the productions, I'm there from the first kick to the last snare. Do you understand? I know the amount of musicality that goes into. So don't tell me that I sound like somebody that just boom, bah, boom. No, I don't. Please, remove me from that conversation. So there's a lot that people need, and I think we as bigger artists, should start having master classes, on what you really want for yourself and how to, get far as a rapper. Because if rappers continue the way that they are going, this is what happens to rap. Is either you're fully hard or you're fully commercial. They don't feel that an in-between works, and I think I'm sitting comfortably in between. I think SDC is sitting comfortably in between. Do you understand? And that's where you're able to get more fan base. You're able to, even if some people feel like I'm still leaning to the extreme, You see, but if I was, I wouldn't have a song with Chike. I wouldn't have a song. I wouldn't have a whole project with Brymo. I wouldn't have made the Lamb album the way I made the Lamb album. Do you understand? I would have come and said, let's put on the hard beats and let's go. You know, so when you think about all of these things, rappers need to think about how do I, every successful artist, every successful rapper, even in wherever country has stayed the middle. And when they start thinking like that, when they start thinking about business, start thinking about, working in the middle and, making songs for these fans, making songs for expanding the fan base, I think they will be all right, I said a lot, I'm sorry, but it's it's confusing. That's why I said it was a difficult question from
Insightful response.
Yeah.
Man, AQ, thank you so much for taking the time to be here. Congratulations on the wins, on your many wins.
Yeah.
And
You have to be telling me congratulations for everyone. You can't just say, you start with congratulations on the headies, start with congratulations on the Connect Head, congratulations on the Ethos album, congratulations on the Lamb album,
Yes, sir.
congratulations on the many deals I closed.
And all the bars you've been dishing out, like the Tito record and all these other ones.
I think about it and I'm like, there's the Lakon record, God Body. There's Two Horns with Alpha. There's the Lamb Project. You have Fears and Pray for the Crown and the last cipher there. There is Ethos. There is the song with Tito. How you not gonna give me lyricists on the roll again?
Come on, that's all. Lyricists on the roll.
How you not gonna
successful brother rapper.
Album of the year, Ethos
Album
too.
of the year, Ethos.
How you not gonna give me that?
Easy pick. Guys, thank you so much.
Catch up.